Hey everybody, just a brief video regarding writing titles. So your title of your essay is definitely needs to be more than my essay, definitely needs to be more than research paper. There will be a rubric coming to you soon that will be attached to this assignment, and in it there will be just a section on title. And if it just says my research paper, you will do poorly in that area of assessment. So, um, for titles, um, you need to think about some things. First, it needs to predict the content of the essay, it needs to catch the reader's interest, and it needs to reflect the tone or the position that you're taking in your writing. Okay, so titles help the reader prepare for what's happening. It actually kind of enters you into an agreement with the reader about what they can expect should they read further in your essay. Later on, if you end up publishing findings in your perspective field, titles will help researchers in your field find your paper and start to cite you, that kind of thing. So that's really important. A title shouldn't be less than 5 words, but not more than 15. The longer titles usually are in the medical profession or the scientific profession in some way, because you have to talk about all the elements of your case study right there in the title. But those are the big parts. There are some other things that you should think about. When you write your title, write it after you have written your essay, so you can actually like kind of take in the whole thing and then choose an appropriate title. So, a sentence from your essay could serve as a title if it encapsulates those things that I've just mentioned. Um, you can write a title that begins with, that's kind of like a question, or begins with what, who, when, where, and how, why. I'm sorry. What, who, when, and where, or how and why. So, how um, girls are lured into sex trafficking, how women are pressured into cesarean sections, how police, or why police take certain crimes less seriously than others depending on what you're focusing on. So you can do it like that. You can use kind of a well-known catchphrase, like instead of um, a hard knock life, you might do a play on that, that kind of thing. Like, so the catchphrases or something that's more recognizable is it's a hard knock life, and it could be it's a rock and roll life instead, something like that. So you can pick out an image from your essay and kind of describe that, something that the reader can hear and see and smell, and use that as the title. Um, Using part of a song or a famous movie, and you kind of shape it toward your essay and your title. So instead of what is a good song? I'm trying to think. Um, Bohemian Rhapsody. That's just the first one that came into my head. So instead of Bohemian Rhapsody, maybe you talk about um, Criminal Rhapsody, or the Rhapsody of a Terrible Doctor, because I know some of you might have done Doctor Death or something like that. So those are some ways. Let's see. Another is um, to find two titles that you've written so far and maybe join them together using a colon. So it's a bug's life, colon, habitat expectations in with arachnids in South America, something like that. So, it's a bug's life is one, and then the habitat expectations is another one. Maybe you're like, on their own, each one doesn't really quite get there, so let me just join them with a colon, and that kind of works too. I have some practice for you under the assignments of writing titles. It's not a right or wrong kind of thing, it's mostly just a complete or incomplete thing, and it also gives you the opportunity to start thinking toward um, your essay titles. Um, and even though you might not be finished with it, you might have some ideas. Really, a lot of these assignments are just to get you thinking in the direction of where you need to go for that particular part of the essay. So give them a try. Practice with them. It's worth 15 points. It's a complete or incomplete kind of thing. So that means that you don't have to stress out about it. I just want you to try. Okay? So, email, call, or text with questions. Okay? Bye.